Hello and welcome to the new year of Hearts of Yokai, which I am going to refer to as that for the last time. This is Sunken Hearts. It's a new name we are using. Last time, our characters went into a goblin mall, and explored that with the hope of perhaps uh, figuring out some things. In particular, what they found out was that the leader of the Goblin Market, who was supposed to have the duel with our other NPC um, Wisdom Whales, they were murdered. And the group went and explored the office there and found that they had essentially been shot by a dream bullet that had rattled around in them and injured Marrow when it kind of went out the other side of their head. They explored through the records and things there, trying to kind of figure out, who might have done this. They found that the master of the market had some interactions with this lost group of taken, uh, who had who the group had been trying to find out about. And in particular, they eventually located a hidden uh, jail, let us say, and rescued a goblin there who told them uh, about a location for this particular group, which had vanished, a small island offshore. And those are the things that were kind of in the ether there. So, what was talked about uh, last time was several things: exploring the island, following up on the goblin, but there were several requests for allowing for some free play for people to talk with their NPCs, talk with their contacts, do those kinds of things. Let's take a look at where everybody is at, sort of drained and marked and XP and all of those things and entanglement wise here before we go too much further. So, Mr. Suit, you are clear of harm, looks like.
Yes.
You are at 4 out of 5 on sinking, and it looks like you got enough XP that you got in advance last time, right?
Yes, and I have not chosen that, but I am
Okay,
looking through.
all right. And your general tanker remains tied to Curie of Vervain and Aldo.
Mhm.
And your romantic entanglement is are you stoked with that one, or I thought you were thinking about maybe working with that one in a different direction. I can't remember.
I was. I haven't hooked on anything.
Okay. No, I think that's perfectly fair. Okay. Coming back around to Lily Smythe Suit, otherwise known as Lydia Spy Smooth and not Vancia
Oh, sorry. Gosh.
Or Katya.
or
Or
Katya.
Katya. Such good names.
Oh, it's a good set.
Yes.
Mm,
Lily Smythe Smoot,
Smooth.
Soot.
It's
They're
Uh,
all right, apparently.
yes, not drained. You're halfway under sinking. You've got 1 out of 8 on your XP, and you're in good repute. So you're in good shape there.
except for fear.
Oh, that's right. Fury's marked there. Thank you.
Yep.
So, your general entanglement is Semolina Pritchard, and Aldo. Are you still happy with that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we got to do something about
Yes, you
Semolina
do.
Pilchard.
And of course, the other one, the romantic entanglement, is well, you're falling for Marrow. Uh, Not last time, but the time before last, Marrow revealed that they had kind of been pretty awful to Lean and Hungry Mike, who is someone who you also care about. Did you get a move last time?
I did not. I have the same moves. I did, however, buy my power up.
Okay, so that's what you spent your advance on. Okay, let's see. So you definitely want to make sure you mark that under your advance list there.
I see, but I did do it by coloring it in.
Yep, but on the
I,
advances
I, I
list there.
got you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
moving down there,
I
moving
always
down there.
forget because it's on row 68, so it is in the
It's
far
a
bowels of this
long
character
ways.
keeper.
Yes.
But just below a list of your possible jobs: detective, party planner, remote pilot, blowtorch chef.
Yes, I've got more planned.
Giving yourself plenty of space down there. Marrow, you are still suffering from the damage to your joy. You are not drained, and you're not that far along on your sinking at this
Not
moment.
right now.
Not right now. And I think you got enough for an advance last time as well.
I did. I picked up lies, lies, lies.
And what
Uh,
does that do?
when you forge a deliberate lie from the stuff of magic and send it into the world, roll. On a 10 plus hold 2, 7 to 9 hold 1, spend that 1 for 1 to have a part of your lie become truth, learn a truth, have someone truly believe the lie in part or whole, avoid harm or peril, mark seeking to raise someone else's result to a 10 plus. On a miss, my lie rebounds and the world changes against me.
That seems like a thing with no possible repercussions. So I think that's a very good choice.
Well, I mean, other than that last sentence, it seems
Oh, yes.
to.
Yeah. Uh, Excellent. And are you still good with you made some changes recently to your
I
entanglements?
did. I changed both my entanglements. My first one, my general, is I suspect Alidage's of being up to no good, but Aldo, who I usually trust, believes in them. And my romantic entanglement is I have realized I am in love with Abyssinian Max, but I'm also developing feelings for Lily Sveitsut.
Okay. Excellent. And then Aldo, you have your calm is marked, it looks like.
Yep.
Sinking
Uh,
is midway along.
yep.
Looks like you got an advance last time.
I did. Yes. I got invocation from the fear playbook.
Okay.
You spend a bond with somebody to appear in their presence. Others may mark one sinking and bond with you to have you appear as well.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that'll be fun.
Excellent.
I hope someone uses that on me. It just makes me appear at random places.
Yes. And then you made some changes. We've got the Arrow
Yes.
Songbird Rex things. Are you still happy with that?
I will probably change that a bit
Okay.
in the near future, but for now it's fine.
Okay. And the Alley Doges
Yeah,
and danger to your friends.
yes. It's a little vague which friends, but she seems like sort of a general danger at the moment. So
That
Kind of a carnivore.
seems
yeah.
reasonable.
Carnivore.
So the things that are kind of out in play is uh the the murder, of course, of the leader of that particular goblin clan. There's some things spoken about the goblins that there were clearly other groups of goblins and other orders and peoples of them. Also, clearly sense that there was some power struggles within the goblin clans themselves, but also that this guy knew some stuff about the lost taken and had been potentially, given that it was on his desk, had been looking into it recently. So there are all those kinds of things. Plus, of course, he was about to duel a changeling, and he got shot just before that. So there are all of those things.
That's probably not related to anything.
Probably not
No.
not related to anything. But as he told you, the prisoner told you, and I believe the prisoner's name is uh there's my list. Brackish Puck, if I want to
Oh, yeah. Did we make a picture of them
let me see here.
in the NPC?
No, I put him on the NPC tab, but I didn't know his name, so it's just blank. I'll fill that in.
Second and Barker. Yes, I believe that was Brackish Puck. And they told you about that island. But one of the things that was said last time is before kind of move forward on any of those things, the group wanted to have a chance to go and like do some individual things. So there is that bit where I think we see the crew returning after your foray into the Goblin Market, back to your apartment, catching some rest from that. The uh, uh, goblin who first met with you uh, has given you contact information, gives you the impression that, you know, it's expected that you are detectives now and will figure things out. And so they do want to hear back from you, kind of thing. But let's do a go around to see what people want to do. If they want to call a scene with an NPC, if you want to use a move, if you want to call a scene with a PC. Let's start with you, Mr. Suit. By the way, that black shirt with the particular background is a great combo there because it really does look like the smoke is emanating from you.
I'm muted. That doesn't help.
Mhm.
I am not sure yet, honestly.
Sure. Do you want me to come back around to you?
Yes.
Okay. Lily Smythe Suit
Hmm.
or
Now,
Soot. I should say Soot because we already
it
have
is,
Mr. Suit.
yeah,
So
it's soot.
Soot.
Yeah. Everyone says suit, but it's soot. And she says soot. Smythe soot.
Like root.
Yes. Um, okay. So there were a set of people who had clearly been by changelings that we got a list of. Of course, I cannot find that page on my notes now. So, but I remember that
Who had been uh, by
who had talked to the murdered person recently or done something. For instance, Semolina Pilchard had given him a booster of some sort.
yes.
Thing to jingle his so Semolina Pilchard.
The other one you got was a changeling that you don't know because they don't seem to be part of the courts. Is a changeling by the name of Commodore Pecky.
Commodore Pecky. And what was it that we had that like it
Oh,
seemed had been his thing?
yes. It seemed like he did jobs for the goblins. That was your impression there.
All
And
right.
then I have to remember the context of it, but I think that Marrow, you found some evidence that Abyssinian Max had been here, but I don't think you shared that with the group.
Because then we would know who the murderer was. Can't trust him. He's a cat. So, okay. Well, I think then it makes sense that I should see if I can find this Commodore Pecky.
All right.
Let's see here. And he's an independent, right?
Yes.
Then I might go, because I do visit some of the independents. Maybe I'll go and see Spyro Fries and see if he knows Commodore Pecky.
Okay. And so let's have you roll hit the streets.
Oh my gosh, it's a move in here.
Yeah.
All right, what are you supposed to roll it with? Whatever your
Whatever you
emotion
want.
is. I'm kind of excited. I'm doing this thing. So let's see here. So we'll go with joy, just because Spyro's my friend, and well, I consider him my friend. I don't know if he feels that way.
Fair enough.
And then I'll find this roller again. This
It
thing.
is under Alt Roller
Alt roller. Okay.
on that list there.
That's right. Okay.
Let me grab something if I can figure out.
So I'm rolling, adding 2 for hit the streets. So 8 plus a 2 is a 10.
That is a 10. So you will get there. Again, Spyro is a video gamer. We are here just in the 2000s. So at this point, he's probably, got a Sega Saturn and a PlayStation 1. And I have to check the release dates on it, but I think those are his big things. But you'll also see that when you come in, he has a lot of those plastic box cases, and a machine that's clearly set up to burn CD-ROMs, and like a CD label maker and that kind of thing. He apparently, not unlike your friend Lean Hungry Mike, works in the gray market of copying things.
Okay.
But he is there, and he is pleased to see you. What did you bring him that makes him more pliable to your questioning?
I brought my drone. Well, I
Oh,
mean, it's my remote control airplane, right?
okay. Right. Because
So
we're talking 2000, so it's really a remote control
control.
airplane.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, look, I flew this around, and the only reason I could is because I played Spyro with you. And I was very bad at it. This was easier, really, because there was more air.
As you know, probably the height of video games, really, the gold mark of video games.
It is colorful. I will grant you that.
No. I'm not talking about Spyro. It is its own perfection, but I'm saying if you really the gold mark of the a game that when you play it, you feel like you are in there doing the thing is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like it's a richness. So, and he shows you he's got like 3 enormous CRTs
Okay.
that are set up, on a thing. They probably each weigh like 30 pounds.
Okay.
And the heat coming off of them is like I got my
Well, it's
setup
nice because
just
it's
for that.
cool out,
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is a good time to have this.
And
So
he shows you his flight stick
okay.
that he's got. It's all set up. We've got the little pedal things, controls there for it too. Uh, you know, I spent a lot of time programming the macros on this flight stick.
Wait, what's a macro? Wait, macro. Macro, macro.
I'm not sure. I don't usually say it out loud. Yeah.
All right.
But basically, it sets up sophisticated button combinations
Oh,
that I can activate automatically.
but how do you
Like,
remember them?
I have a little notepad and I
Oh,
written them down there.
clever. Okay, I'm going to look at the notepad.
Okay. So why are you looking for Commodore Pecky?
His name came up, and I've never run into him. But you run in different circles than I do, so I didn't know if you'd never run into him. Or, I mean, met him. You don't have to run into a person to know who they are.
He's um he's a, a twice taken.
Oh, unlucky.
Yeah, he came back a couple of years ago and he had been with lanterns before that, but he got grabbed up. Doesn't happen often. Usually protections are solid, and I'm not sure what the deal is, what the story is, but when he came back, I know that he had no love for the courts and was like, here's the thing, I'm not with a court,
Mm-hmm.
but I obey the laws, I follow the rules. If they tell me to do something, I do it and I take my handouts and I I smile when they ask me to smile. That's not Commodore Pecky. He really doesn't like anybody high up in any of the courts.
Do you think he'd talk to me? I mean, I'm not high up, right?
Yeah, I just would be real careful. He's You can smell the sink on him.
Which makes me sad.
He keeps his visage up all the time. Doesn't let you see what's under there. I'm not even sure what he is. But there's some dark shit I know he's played with. I can get you in touch with him if you want, but I
PbtA.
wouldn't go and talk to him alone.
Okay. Thank you for helping me. I probably don't want to tangle you up in this unless it goes wrong, because I don't want you to have hard times. I will talk to my folks and see who's willing to go. Some people have a better eye for the dark things. I'm better at seeing the bright things.
That's certainly been my impression of you.
Mm. So you need both, even if you don't have both all the time.
So you have a choice. Do you want me to try and set up a meet, or do you want to try and he might give you a couple of places that he would likely be found at?
Why don't we try a meet?
Okay.
Okay. I don't want him to feel like I'm chasing him around.
All right. Well, figure out who you're gonna do, and I'll talk to him about where he would like to meet up. I'll make sure he doesn't choose any place that's particularly shitty for you.
All right. Oh, thank you. Do you know what he was like before he was twice taken?
You mean what kind he was or what he
Yeah.
was like? That that's before my time.
Mm.
You might ask his ex,
What's his ex?
Hemingway.
Oh, I've been meaning to talk to her. Okay, I'll do that.
But that was ex before he came back, like from the first time he was here.
Okay, that makes sense. So he hasn't had a close friend since he came back the second time.
That's my impression, at least not amongst our kind. He
Okay,
might run with others. I heard he's tight with some goblins.
that could be. All right. In some ways, they're kind of got the same kinds of experiences in some ways. And in other ways, they're playing a whole different game. Okay, I'll give you a call later, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. And do you
Yeah.
want to borrow
Borrow what?
the remote controlled airplane?
No, that's too like in real life. I
Mm,
like I like I like this sort of.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm going to pack it up. And I said, oh, and I'm coming by. I'm going to make you this awesome new casserole I figured out. I blowtorch the marshmallows on top. It's great.
Marrow,
Yes.
what do you want to do?
There's so many options, but I think I'm going to stay on task, I believe. I'm going to go and see Bayman.
Okay. Uh, you will head back down to those offices. Again, a little more sophisticated place that you're the you are in. I mean, offices with names on the doors and big echoing halls and things. And uh, you will come in to see Bayman. They are flipping through what looks to be old yearbooks, maybe.
Hmm. Okay. Excuse me, I don't mean to bother you.
No, it's never a bother when you come to see me. It's good to see you, Marrow.
Thank you. Um, I
Come and sit
admit,
down. Don't stand.
oh, thank you very much. I'll move over and take a seat. I admit it's not purely a social call, though it is nice to see you.
No, I'm very pleased after you not only brought us the news about the taker, uh, at some risk to yourselves, you intervened in the situation and made things easier. And so that was risky and but appreciated.
Don't know that, do I?
I don't think so.
Um, Intervened? How do you mean?
Clearing out the ghosts.
Oh, sure.
You
Yeah,
did get
well,
you did get the car. Mr. Suit got the car, right?
oh yes, it's very nice. He's been giving us rides, which he seems to enjoy the chance to do.
Very much so.
Well, but like I say though, this isn't purely social. Um, I, the original task that we had been asked to look into,
Mm-hmm.
um, I've heard the name of a place, and I was curious if maybe you know something about it. Tinfoil Venice?
That was a goblin shoal, a goblin settlement for a while, like a big one. But it got flattened at the hurricane about a year and a half ago.
I've we've gotten some information that maybe the quartet that we're looking for might have had something to do with that.
Like, do with it how? What do you mean?
Beginning to look like they had some very complex working that they were doing, and its destruction was either a part of that ritual or the culmination of it.
You see him pause, and his teeth kind of set, and you kind of see him kind of look. He says, "Okay, that's interesting."
Don't wish to probe, but seems like it's more than just interesting. Can I try to sway a little or
Yeah, what do you think you
cajole a little
want to
out of
do
him?
here? I can't remember if you have any moves that are appropriate to this.
I don't know if I have any moves that are. I'm not a very charming off of my moves sort
All
of
right.
guy.
Uh, let's try you do conflict. This is our attempt to kind of like push things in a particular direction, get him to do what you want.
Okay. Um, I think I'm rolling that with. I think I'm trying to. I can see that this very well may have either pissed him off or worried him. So I'm trying to come at this very calm. I think I'm
Okay.
bringing calm to this. Um, right. That looks awfully cocked there, doesn't it?
Yep.
That's a 7.
That is a 7, so that's 2, unless you have a string on them.
I do not. So, um, let's see. I think I'm in a bad situation. Hopefully I'm not having anything terribly bad off of this. Just asking, who knows? But um, well, to be on the safe side, let's I'm trying to get where is it? I get what I want from them.
Okay.
So any
Get them.
info,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And the other thing you want?
Let's. I'm just too conservative, but I avoid reprisals, harm, or
Okay.
cost.
He says, it is more than interesting. Um, want you to understand that we don't know exactly why these people are important. We've heard some shady things about them in the past. We didn't say that to you because we didn't want to color things, but these
We've
were these
uncovered a
were
few.
these are figures that weren't straight, weren't aligned. But what you're telling me is not what I was expecting. Tinfoil Venice was big. It was big, and it was the only local goblin settlement. The rest of the goblin groups, the Bakers and the different families, they're all folks that came down here from the Appalachians when I don't know what happened, but something happened in 72 up there, and they migrated down here. Tinfoil Venice were essentially the Mobile local goblin settlement. And when they got wiped out, that was almost all of the locals. I'm certain that there were a few of them that managed to scurry to other holes, but keep that in mind.
Would it have been a would it have been a big help to the Bakers that that settlement was destroyed? Who gained?
That I don't know. Then you started to get into goblin politics, and how do I put this? Um, that's more a question for mirrors. They're the historians.
All right.
But anything you can find out about whatever kind of ritual they did there, anything you find, and he stops and says it again, like very clear, anything that you find about the ritual that they do, you should bring that back to us. And by us, I mean lanterns.
Obviously.
And by us, I mean if you can keep it from going outside of those lines, that would be appreciated. But I understand that you're caught in the fact that you've got other courts in amongst your crew. But understand that this is our area. And if somebody is doing rituals of that kind that are that potent, we'd rather not have other people have any of those details in their hands.
It seems shocking that they were working with enormously dangerous things. A taker?
And he stops and he says, sometimes our people return to the ocean. They walk back out into the surf. And sometimes they just drown where they're standing. They sink under. And sometimes you can tell, and sometimes you can't. The latter is where you get really dangerous. If you can hide that, that's what's becoming of you. That you want to return to the way you were, but you also still want to be in this world.
Thank you for your advice and your information. I will do my best to find out more.
Hey, hang on.
Uh,
Uh, and he'll hold out a handful of some things. Uh, these are car wash tokens. We sometimes get them as promos. from the car wash down in Dixie Way. So take some of those, and when you need to give Mr. Suit a treat, you can get his car wash for him.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Oh, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
He'll like that.
Yeah. There's a free coffee when you go in too.
Oh, oh, that's nice. And I will thank him again and make my way out.
Okay. Aldo, what do you want to do? I hate how much that would work on Mr. Suit.
uh, everyone is being responsible and actually working on what we're supposed to be doing here. And I'm wondering if I should break with that or if I should actually do something tangential to that. I think I'll do something tangential to that. I'm going to
Okay.
go talk to Curia Vervain.
All right. So essentially you call up Curia for a a meeting. Um, they're usually pretty flexible, but they will uh, actually kind of have to schedule around. You have the sense that they're kind of in the middle of something. And when they do meet you at one of the coffee shops, uh, for chicory and beignets, they will sit there. They have the look of someone who has their mind kind of occupied, and they will say, "We are a few short months away from Mardi Gras."
Oh, yeah, that's right. Time really creeps up on you.
Yes, it is. It is a major event for our kind.
Um, Completely unrelated to that.
Yes,
Do you know someone named Aaron Rook?
maybe. What's the context here?
Oh, just ran into him a couple days ago.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose you know that he wants to kill you, but just in case, I thought you should know.
I'm well aware that
Okay,
Aaron
good.
Roke wishes me dead. I have taken steps to make it, let us say this, that uh, should he directly or indirectly cause harm to me, he understands that there would be consequences.
Good, good. I
How
mean, I don't,
is it that you got mixed up in the business of the Immortals?
oh, no, we didn't. We just
But you ran into
had
him.
a curiosity
No,
about the
I want
same.
you. No, I want to make this clear. You have met him. You are now mixed up in the business of them. Does he know your name?
I don't think so.
Does he know the names of any of your friends?
Out of character, does he? I don't remember if
He
anyone actually gave.
knows Mr.
He knows
Suit.
Mr. Suit, right? Okay. Yeah, I think he knows Mr. Suit.
Well, that's
I
okay.
think. Uh, but we were checking. We were just looking at a place with, you know, and he was also there checking it out.
As I
We
said, there's to you before, there's a lot of shit happening with the five right now. The four plus one. Uh, and The fighting hasn't started, but it will. And each one of them, in their own particular way, is they are an engine of consumption. They are a thing that takes and chews up and feeds. Now, I know you have some experience with that given the takers. And in some ways, the immortals here are a kind of a pale imitation of that, but they are a local boy pale imitation of that.
Yeah. Well, I have no intention of getting in their way. Um, One other thing, and I don't know if you would have any reason to know about this at all, but have you ever heard of tinfoil Venice?
It was a place of power that got wiped off the map.
Yeah. Uh, Apparently it's still on some maps, or was.
You heard stop, and she said, it was in a very much more of a calculating response here. Why is it that you are asking about that?
Uh, Again, met someone who brought it up.
Had they been there?
I believe so. Long time ago.
It got wiped off the map. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. Your people spend a lot of time there?
No. And you can see she's taken, like, she clearly thought about exactly how she wants to precisely answer that question.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. Um, so the thing that uh the Widow Macton took, was it from there?
No, no. Tinfoil Venice was a goblin place that
Yeah, okay.
got wiped out. Widow Macton, I'm not at liberty to say what she took, but she
But it
took
was
it from
from
us
you.
before Venice went to the way of the sea.
Okay. Uh, Fair enough. I'm not, I won't pry any further, at least not. Uh, no, I think after that, it's just, small talk and like,
Okay.
just hanging out.
Okay. Some more, you can uh, get a couple more beignets fresh out of the fryer.
Yeah. Mhm.
Powdered sugar
Yep.
on them. Delicious.
Yep.
Mr. Suit.
Yes. So I think I want to. Well, want to is a strong term. I think I'm going to go see Delulu.
All right. They are, as always, very pleased to see you there. Again, that room with all the mirrors, her reflection slow and fast in different ones as she sits. Sometimes she looks at you, sometimes she looks at you in the mirror, and she's very glad to see you. And she says, I
There's a lot
cannot
of
remember.
switching between which face I'm supposed to be looking at.
Did you, did you, I can't remember if you said you liked or didn't like sweet tea.
I prefer hot tea.
Do you like hot sweet tea or
I
just
like
hot tea?
hot tea with a little bit of sugar in it.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll have that got for you.
Oh no, you don't have to.
Oh,
It's
we got people for that.
That's oh, well,
You like
let's have
that?
some
I
tea.
ring a bell, I say a name, and somebody comes and brings you tea. Isn't that a delight? Doesn't it just make you a little tickly?
It's just I didn't want to impose on you. I
You're
asked
not imposing on
around.
me.
I asked around twice to make sure that there wasn't anyone else that I wouldn't have to. Well, I understand that you're in charge of scheduling and events for the court.
I do have to manage those things as one of the rules and roles of the hand, and certainly here with our particular court, we
Well, it's just I couldn't help but notice that we're not, as a court, officially scheduled to host anything until 4 years from now at New Year's.
that's we've got lots of things during the year. Our New Year's hosting, that's a little bit of horse trading, bargaining that we did to get other things during the year. We are better placed than most courts for yearly activities. People want those high table events, and they're willing to trade off things that are more amicable during the year to us.
It's well, I just in the past several weeks, I Lily threw a party for the sons. The goblins put together a surprisingly compelling duel setup. It was, I mean, it didn't go anywhere, but it was very dramatic and well decorated.
Oh yeah, did who died?
It's well, one of the it was the goblin, but before
Ooh,
anything really came,
I would not put not have expected that of Our Lady of Library.
well, it was all very scandalous in a way. It was really rather great. You should have been, well, not you, I mean, but the one should have. I was there.
Really? So how did Wales kill the goblin?
That is still under debate.
Ooh, you have my
Prehumously,
curiosity piqued.
early, I suppose, would be the most.
An ambush?
Well, it's something in a preemption of the duel itself.
You are enjoyably talking around the matter. I do like that. I like how you won't give me a straight answer, and that is always appreciated in these places. So, you want to put on a party?
It's oh me. Well, I mean, the court, I feel, should. Don't you
Would
feel?
you like to put on a party for the court?
I suppose if that's what the court needs out of me. I mean,
You have done us a great service, and I, for one, was a person who said that they thought that a Dodge Stratus was a was only a minor gift, and that you should be granted richer treasures.
Oh, no, it has been widely appreciated.
Let me look, and you'll see them pull up a little, like, very beautiful kind of puff velvet day planner. Looks like the kind of thing like a grandmother would have that they might stick pictures in and have the day plan thing. And let me look here. Let me see what we could do. I tell you what. I'll give you the big one. It's coming up. We get to host the Super Bowl party this year.
That is very popular.
Everyone will want to come. It's it's being played at the Georgia Dome, so the South will rise. January 30th. So you've got a couple weeks here.
That is, it will be well attended. People will be excited about it, and it's just important to me that the court put on a nice function. I tried putting on, well, several myself, but there was Max. And now that's all anybody talks about if I send out an invitation. But if the court sends out an invitation, of course, that's totally different.
Well, I'll tell you what then. You have access to the full planning abilities of our court. You may call upon assistance here for people to set up. You may talk to my secretary, and they will give you a list of places that we have used in the past that have been able to host and serve for the kinds of numbers and activities typical of our cadre. And I'll give you, let's say, $2,000 worth of planning money.
That's very that should be perfect, and I can put together a. That's people like dancing at Super Bowl parties, right?
I am going to trust in the judgment that you will bring, and I will tell everyone that this party is going to be your project. It
That's
is going to
very
be your coming out for the court.
very informative of you.
She'll reach into a drawer there, and you'll see her. She goes around, and she will pull out a big fistful of money, and she will count out $2,000 in 20s and 50s and hundreds.
I reached over the wrong shoulder to grab it because I got
This
tricked by the
side, yes.
reflection. Sorry.
Here you go. Do me a favor. I just need you to sign a little receipt for that.
Oh well, it's lovely receipt paper. Where did you?
Oh, little
It has a
stationery
scent to
sign.
it.
Absolute lilac.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely. So yeah, so you've got a couple weeks, uh, but I'd get cracking on it.
Wonderful, wonderful. This will make Lily and Max eat their shirts. I mean, will really spread the reputation of the court.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very glad that I can hand that task off to you, Mr. Suit.
I'm glad. Of course, to be of service to the court.
And they will bow to you and let you go.
It's always just so exhausting.
And the secretary, when you go outside, will have a little list of places and contact names and numbers of essentially venues. But that's kind of like all the information that they give you.
So I have like a list of contact and a wad of bills.
Exactly. And knowing that you have to set up a party for all the courts on behalf of the Court of Mirrors in 2 weeks.
And just before I go, just to be absolutely sure, the Super Bowl, that's football, right?
Yes, it's the
Perfect.
Rams and the Tennessee Titans. We know who we want to win.
Of course. Nothing. Okay, well, I'll find that out on my own.
Let's take our break here. Let's take 10, and then we'll come back at about 5 till the hour. So that is Super Bowl 34 for those of you who wish to look into the future. There, it's supposedly one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time.
Oh.
It really is. It has the most exciting finish of any Super Bowl ever.
I was looking up and I was just, being stupid with Suit there. But the first Super Bowl was only 2 years before he was taken.
Yeah.
Not like a familiar tradition for him.
Super Bowl? A superb owl? Okay.
Oh, you're muted, Sherry.
I was gonna say, like college football would have been Mr. Suit's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh, it's like the Rose Bowl, that kind of thing, right?
Well, no, it would be like, would Harvard play? No,
Who are these people?
Who are these people?
The Super Bowl 30.
Those people. Who are those people? That's what it would be.
To show the transitioning of time, the Wikipedia article mentions that this is also known as the .com Bowl for the sheer number of .com companies that bought advertisements during this Super Bowl. Like this
Amazing.
is that sort of pets.com turning of the eras there. Let's bring everybody back together for a meeting. And I'd like to imagine that it's just a happenstance of paths crossing rather than a meal. Just that all of you happen to be arriving back kind of the same time.
Yeah, and like making for the one phone downstairs in
Yes.
the lobby.
All kind of heading, kind of crossing that path when you all see each other there.
Hey, would you she sort of gathers everyone together. Did you find anything out?
Yes, did you know they've done 32 more Super Bowls?
32 more than what?
Well, than 2.
Well,
So
yeah.
34? Huh.
Are you a fan of football, Sue?
I'm learning to be. I don't have invitations yet, but you should come to the Mirrors Super Bowl party.
Roll Tide! Somebody shouts as they walk past the hall. They heard the word football.
All tied.
Yes.
I mean, I grew up in Alabama. It's so it would be ingrained. I couldn't. Marrow
From
couldn't help
doing
but
Call
say
of
it.
response.
Call and response. Is
It's like being Catholic.
And also with you.
That's not funny. True.
Wow,
Okay.
a Super Bowl party? Huh.
Yes. Not
Oh,
quite sure where yet, but I'm narrowing it down.
You're you're throwing the Super Bowl party?
or are they just
Well,
not telling you where it is?
that could be a theme. No, I'll put it on the list. No,
Okay.
I'm throwing. Well, I mean, the court needed someone to put it together, and well, I was there. Delulu was really desperate, so I agreed to help her out.
Well, that's great. I know you like throwing parties.
Do you?
It's something I've done before.
Oh, okay. You make very good drinks, so I suppose that makes sense.
Thank you. It is lucky that those interests. So, are you free?
Tonight?
Definitely.
Well, or for, oh,
Think
I
for
don't,
the party,
On
Lily.
the 30th. What was that?
I have to check. I'm sorry. That's a Sunday, isn't it?
Super Bowl Sunday, in fact.
Oh. Mhm.
I mean, it'd be really nice if you went. I we could cheer together.
I, I would like to. I like parties, but I hope this is possible that I would go to church with her. Apparently, there's one in town where everyone dresses like in these super fancy hats, and
Churches in the
like you have to have
morning.
a little.
Super Bowl's not going to be at 10 a.m.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe
It'll
I can go, but I'll
it'll
be
be
dressed
at
up to the
night.
nose. What? It'll be at
Uh,
when?
it'll be at night. Yeah.
Oh, I
And
thought it was in the afternoon. Isn't that when most of the college, I mean, that's when they play football in the afternoon, isn't it?
well, the it's a really big deal, and so it's on prime time.
Oh,
Suit is like surreptitiously taking notes.
Yeah, it'll probably be about 8 or 9.
ooh, that's late. Those games go forever.
But it'll be very exciting, and Sue will have great food and drinks and
Mm.
Yes, and there will be dancing if the game goes on too long.
Uh,
dancing. You mean like synchronized cheers or
Maybe
celebration dancing?
it's yes. Well, it's TBD.
Oh, okay. Um, that sounds exciting. So who are you getting to do the food?
He'll hold up a pile of papers and numbers. I have some options I have to work through.
Okay.
oh, well, if you need any help, let me know. Like about football.
Thank you. That might be a refresher course, maybe.
I used to really like football. My dad and I would sit and watch it.
Ooh, I've never really watched it before. Should I practice? I don't know how it
Practice watching
plays.
football. I mean, I guess,
Yes,
maybe we should all watch a game to like so you two can learn the rules.
that's it.
We,
I have
There are
no
probably
idea.
tapes down at the family video down in the corner.
Yeah, because all the games are over. We would have to like rent a tape at the Blockbuster or the
Family
or the
video.
library might have them.
Ooh, I have a library card.
and
Okay.
when you say practice, we won't be expected to actually play any football.
No.
I mean, usually people have a few balls and they'll go out and toss them around at halftime.
You should have balls. That would be like a nice thing. Everybody gets a cool little ball, maybe with the name of the party.
Ooh, monogrammed balls.
And then she stops giggling. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, it's a lovely idea. Perhaps you could get ones made out of that soft material.
Ooh,
Nerf,
soft,
the Nerf, like Nerfs, right?
soft, squishy balls.
Yeah, soft squishy.
Is that a brand of leather?
It's a brand of foam.
I really do need that course on football, I think.
Yeah. Me too. I think maybe we need different parts of it, but yeah. Okay.
I think I look at Marrow and I'm like, do you have a ball? We could
Um,
just like take them out in the vacant lot over there and
I
just show them how to play.
bet I've got one somewhere. I mean, I collect a lot of stuff.
Yes, you do.
Um, yeah, maybe tomorrow we could throw around the ball.
Okay.
That's so exciting.
I went and talked with Bayman about the. Are we just out in the hall? Are we still just out in the
Yes, you are.
hall? Maybe we should find somewhere a little more private to talk a few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can come to my room. I'll make cocoa. This is the
All right.
only week of the year that cocoa really works here.
Once we
Let's
get
do it.
up and have our bugs, I went and talked with Bayman to find out if he knew anything about tinfoil Venice. And I mean, it's really sort of sad. That was the like home of all of the native goblins here, and like this part of the country. Um, and everybody just kind of assumed it was the storm that took it out, but it pretty much destroyed them all. Like, like there's none of them left. If there's any of them left, they've dispersed, and it's not like they're people anymore. The the goblins we have now are all the Appalachian uh, goblins. So, like a whole civilization sort of just gone.
I I saw the island where it was, but I guess I heard Goblin Village and wasn't thinking of something that elaborate.
Bayman implied it was like a massive city.
Well, it was called Venice. Venice is pretty big.
And hey, yeah,
It also
you,
implies they went around by boats.
I mean, it is an island, yeah. That would be kind of good. But he was pretty shocked and upset when he realized that this group was responsible.
Oh, no, this is the thing. They took a taker's heart. They took that stone from tinfoil Venice. This is big magic. This is big nasty magic. Remember
Something.
the New Year thing was everything has to change? We need to be doing something so that everything changes, so that whatever they've done can't get a hold of us.
Maybe. He talked about them like that they had turned bad. Like like
Like
the
who turned bad?
our quartet of missing people.
Well, yeah.
like that they'd sort of been infected by the undertow.
I hate to say this to you, but we're kind of all infected by the undertow.
No, like they wanted to be a part of the undertow.
To be takers?
Maybe. Or like hiding here amongst us, but still a part of the darkness that is down there. I don't know if he knew. He didn't say that he like knew that for certain, but he talked about that sometimes there are those amongst us who can hide that they've been turned to the undertow and that they work to kind of destroy what we're making. They're out there working against us.
Turncoats.
They've stayed hidden and quiet about it if they are.
I would assume that they took the stone and made a new place for themselves.
Or if the prophecy's right, maybe they were waiting for a significant moment. I mean, it being a new millennium is really sort of a perspective thing because there's a whole bunch of places it's not really a new millennium yet. But for people, they think it's significant, and that has ripples.
Okay, so you're saying that on the New Year's Eve of 2000, they're going to make a big move.
Perhaps.
Does
Or
that
they're
make
working it up this whole year, making this year building up to it. Because you got to remember, the new millennium really doesn't start in 2000.
Right.
It starts in 2001.
As you said, the emotionality of it is what powers things. I mean, our courts are called after emotions. But the other thing is I'm going to say this again, the prophecy what said everything has to change or it'll be destroyed. If their workings depend on us, our setup being the same, and we leave it the same, we could be destroyed. Think of it as it created a set of ritual ideas to bind something. I don't know. It's big magic. And I don't even know why I'm saying that, except that it's like from books and stuff.
I mean, we can't realistically just change everything. What does that even mean?
Yes, we can. We can, but the courts have to recognize that it needs to happen. And then they have to put up a new scheme of how they're going to organize themselves and change who's in charge and change when they come into charge and
How
things
do we
like
know
that.
that's what needs to change, though? It could be anything.
They said everything has to change.
Everything. Well, I mean, everything is changing all the time. That's not helpful.
Okay,
It's
so then
not
we
a very
shouldn't
good
try.
prophecy. No, I'm just
not
saying
that
we
we
don't
shouldn't
know
try.
what everything is in this context. Like what?
Everything is a long list, and I don't know if we can
Yeah,
accomplish it all in time.
I mean,
More
Probably.
targeted approach.
That's, yeah.
we gotta narrow it down. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so how are we going to figure out what to narrow it down to?
I
We
don't
just-
Because
know.
we
but
only got a year to do it.
I think it might have
Well,
something to do
And
with the
since it
Immortals.
might be as big as everything, it has to do with what?
The Immortals.
Why?
think
They're just one of the factions.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking, we met that guy up at the junkyard. He seemed very interested in that place and
Rogue, he was
what's
sniffing
going on there.
around part of the ritual.
And there's something going on with the five.
Right.
One of them's disappeared.
Because the other ones are going to kill him because they
The
discovered
others
his
are
weakness. Yeah.
stuff is going on. A lot of things are going on, and I wonder if that's the changing thing.
Why
Is
would
that
we get a thing about them?
I don't know,
We're all in
but
this together.
they're definitely a group that you would need a whole lot of power to fight.
They're a
So
group that doesn't change much.
Yeah,
But
I mean, how do you change immortals? They die because that's that's what they are.
Well,
Things
I
that
think
don't
we'd
die.
have a better chance getting the court to rearrange, but
I know,
okay.
right?
Okay, so I think that we're going to need to make a list of possibilities and see if we can break things up into stuff that we could test.
Having a good idea of what this ritual might have been, what it's trying to accomplish, delving into that will give us a big clue.
Yeah. I really hope the thing we have to change isn't kill the immortals, because that's just, or maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. Or maybe it has nothing to do with them.
Exactly. I think you've hit the three possibilities, so there we go. I don't know. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just, that was, Hemingway said those things to us.
Yeah.
So I think that the people who were there were the ones that could act on it, and none of them were immortals. None of them were stated enemies of the immortals. They were all us. But I may be simplifying the situation.
Well,
I think that you're correct. Understanding what the ritual or rituals were, because there were certainly rituals to collect the elements, but we don't know what all
Yeah.
of those are. I certainly have never heard of a ritual that just requires 2 items. It's usually a significant number, like a 3 or
Well, they took something
Well,
from the coven too. So
the
that's 3.
storm was part of it.
the storm, the heart, the thing taken from the coven.
Wait, they took
the
a storm or they made a storm?
And probably made the storm, but it's part of the ritual, it seems.
Probably pulled the storm.
You have at least 3 things that were taken: a heart, a rock, and something from the coven. That's at least 3.
Rock and cover. Right, right.
And the destruction of the city.
Yes, that may well have been another part of that.
But they did that by taking the rock, right?
Yeah. It was the
So
center of protection for Venice.
city destroyed.
Without it there, the storm just
Wiped them out.
wiped it off.
So the destruction may have been a byproduct of the theft.
Mhm.
Or the theft could have been there so that they could harvest the destruction.
Says your pocket.
Oh yeah.
Is
Whose
he still in your
pocket?
pocket?
Are you-
Yours.
Are you
You have a
feeling all
goblin
right,
in your pocket,
Lydia?
or did. Have you done
Someone
anything
put a
with them?
goblin in their pocket, I believe.
Oh, yes. Is that me?
I thought
No,
that
it's
was you.
Patrick.
Who put the goblin in their pocket?
I thought it was Patrick too, but I could be, but it might have been you, Morrow.
I'm happy to. If it is me, I will certainly take him out.
Okay.
Oh, hello. Do you want some cocoa?
And then we open it up and he's like, I would prefer to be allowed to step out of this prison.
Oh, that's right. I shrank it down, didn't I? That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yep, it
Oh,
was me.
sorry.
Oh, been so long.
I
Absolutely, yes. Of course. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. things and stuff have just
No, no,
been
I can
going
understand
on.
why someone such as me would be far back in your mind, a prisoner who had
Oh,
been trapped in there
no,
for months and
no, I'm
been given a
really
promise of fresh
sorry.
air and release and
And
freedom. But
Coco.
and Coco now,
Yes.
I
um,
will release it out of this if we
thank you.
can.
Yes, and essentially you'd already removed the ball and chain from him, so he will come out and he will look around, see him look around and at the apartment, the size of
Mhm.
it and the condition of it, and he will say, are we still in the Goblin Mall?"
That
No,
is
we're in
unkind.
Mobile.
Oh,
Not particularly well paid, so my apartment is rather
uh,
small.
uh, no, no, it's just no, no. I did not intend to cast aspirations or aspersions or perspirations or perspirations on you in any way, shape, or form.
You worked
Uh,
through that list very well.
Cocoa, then. We're speaking of the
Yes.
cocoa.
Yes. Do you like a
Hmm.
lot of marshmallows? A little few?
I would like quite a good deal of marshmallows, given how much sugar they have in them. Yes,
Oh,
please.
yes.
You know what would make them better is if only they could be a little toasty.
Oh, I had just the thing. She brightens up.
Ye gods!
So wait, did
Now
we
it's like a French onion soup thing. I'm going to need a spoon.
tap tap? By the
So,
way,
yes,
did
yes.
we do something to get rid of the ghost that I don't remember? Bayman wanted to thank us for the efforts to get rid of the ghosts.
Go ghosts?
Where the keeper was. He said that we went above and beyond. I don't remember doing anything like that.
It's, I stopped back by later.
And you got rid of the ghosts?
I emptied his stores out.
Ooh, that must have made him
Wow,
super hungry by the time.
it's
Yeah,
really impressive, suit.
thank you. He was an entitled little shit, needed to be taught something about where he was.
Oh, uh, so would anyone else like more cocoa?
Yes, please.
All right.
Um, yes.
Yes. So I couldn't help it over here.
Oh, do you have anything to add or clarify with the situation?
Yes, I think I had said to you
Oh, good.
regarding the ritual that uh, uh, oh, we believed that they wished to make themselves into like a taker.
Yes. They wanted to be takers. Great. That's what we need. More takers and close.
So the ritual is a process of becoming takers.
I don't know exactly what the ritual was about. Oh, that is.
What
Do,
what is
do,
it that you
do
think
you use,
makes someone a taker? I mean,
They have
obviously
to
not
be
just the
super evil.
actions.
or are you asking me? Or are you asking
You.
the others rhetorically?
No, you.
Oh, me. I have no idea. Like, my people have had contact with the takers, but we are we are primitives in their eyes, and we have traded with them, and we have sold information to them, and we have dealt with them and that kind of thing, but we have never been important to them, and they make us sick.
Like
Do
you don't
they
like them, or like being around them makes you actually ill.
We don't have much problem with your kind, unlike most other supernaturals. Most, as you know, most supernaturals don't like being around you because you are a great sucking void of magic and you contain uh, energies from the takers that are inherently consumptive. You're less inimical to us, I think, because goblins tend to swim in the undertow a lot. But when we're around real takers, uh, they they make us sick. They give us diseases. They carry things from the far places that eat away at us.
So we all know what our takers were like. And I mean, at least what I saw is they are different than us. Now, I don't know if that is a process that, like, say, if we had stayed long enough and had opportunity and we had the drive, we could become
No,
like
they're
them.
something different. They aren't from people.
Aren't? And why do they keep wanting people?
They want servants to play with and to torture.
They have needs and whims that don't make sense.
It seemed like just very, very, very oversized versions of what humans want a lot of times. But I don't know. My experience is merely for me hearsay of other voices. I don't remember any of it.
If there is a process that they felt they could do, a ritual that would allow them to become a taker, that clearly means they thought that that required a true change to who they were. You can't just simply start taking humans, haul them off to the undertow, and now you're a taker. It's not a title. I'm making suppositions here, but clearly they think that it has something to do with a mystic change to oneself. The drive to do that pushed them towards this ritual, which whether they all thought they could do it or it was all to be focused on one, I don't know. If they succeeded, if the ritual was completed and they succeeded, then the danger might be that they want to come here. And as you're saying, Lily, and as Bayman kind of warned, if they could hide themselves enough to get through our defenses because they were a part of them and knew them, then that's what we would need to change.
It's all of the significant things that we invest power in. The idea of the courts, the suns, the lanterns, the mirrors, the shackles broken. And it's not that we have to destroy those things, it's that we have to imagine them a different way, as different things, ordered differently, felt differently, carried through differently.
That's the case. That's going to be extremely hard.
For us, if we're just trying to do it, the four of us.
Well, the inertia of it in everyone's mind, because it's not, again, simply a title, it would be a change, as you say, of how we think of each one.
Yes.
And that is enormously complicated and hard.
And these structures are the only things keeping us safe.
So that's the thing. We aren't the experts. We have a lot of reasons why it would be hard. But it has been done once in order to get them going. So there are known ways. And we need to do it before we get out of January.
I'm
I'm
January.
just saying,
I mean, we got to get
possible
it
is
started.
possible is different from
We should probably say that you can still have your Super Bowl party, though. So don't worry about that.
thank you.
I know how exciting it is when you're doing a party. It's pretty fun. She looks at the goblin. Have you had anything like solid to eat recently?
He's like looking out the front window of your apartment, kind of looking out, and he's like, "What? I'm sorry, what?"
Oh, is there anything interesting out there?
Yeah, there's that vacant lot across the street. It looks like someone dropped a mattress out in a ditch
Oh,
by
wow.
there.
Oh, I was going to offer you a peanut butter sandwich, but if you think that
I would like a
mattress
peanut
will-
butter sandwich and an old mattress found in a ditch. Can I
Oh,
have
but-
both?
Where are you going to put the mattress?
I don't
You're
know.
just
Is there
gonna
like
stay
a
in the ditch?
roof? Could put it up on the roof. I could sleep up there. Could make me a little tent.
Wait, you're not moving in?
Doesn't have
Are you
anywhere to
throwing me out
go.
already?
Actually, you know what would be better placed than on the roof? There's a closet downstairs in the laundry room, and it seems like it's locked.
Inside?
It's in the laundry room area. Yeah, in the basement. And it seems like it's locked. If you hit the door thing, you can't move it. But
Oh, is it under the stairs like that Wizard Boy book?
kind of like that.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I hate
But
that book.
oh, I just saw it. A lot of the kids like it. I haven't read it yet. But that was not the thing. It's that you can actually get in. When you open it, if you sort of like woggle it, it will eventually open with the
Okay.
frame comes out.
Okay, so here's my question. That seems like a place that I could not fit that lovely mattress across the way.
Or
Maybe
you
we
can
could
fit it
find.
in there.
Oh, can we?
Yeah.
It'll
That's
take
a
up the whole
shame.
floor.
Maybe it wouldn't fit, and we just have to, not
Maybe
get the
maybe we could
mattress.
find me like a child's futon.
Would you like to go take a tour? I will show you what it is. It's got a light on it in it, but we might have to make the string on the light a little longer for you to
We'll
reach.
figure that out. So
Peanut butter sandwich.
yes.
See, I'm pretty good
Uh,
at guessing what you're going to say next. So there we go.
Are we on the same page? I mean, it does sound, Mr. Suit, it does sound like you do not wish me to be here.
I was just not under the impression that this was a goblin halfway house.
I mean, it's already got, and I just sort of gesture around to all of us, like, as much as I hate to say it, the goblin's probably not going to be the problem.
Out of curiosity,
Yes.
do goblins, do they not have to kind of stay and like, do they live out in the real world a bit?
It's what a very polite way of putting that. There are things that are in this world that are anathema to us. It is less painful to be in darkness and damp and to move through the shallows for us. But then we also go to places to harvest things, but typically at the dusk and the nights and such. These are all things.
I think you're going to love this room down in the laundry. It's damp and dark.
we
Always smells a
can
little bit like mold.
we can that seems like making a stereotype out of things, but anyway, let's go. We can walk around in the daylight, but it is not fun. It is not enjoyable, and it is not healthy in the long run. Mind you, we do have a little bit of the borrowed magics of the contracts that so people can't really see us as we are.
I was going to ask about that.
Yes, nothing as fancy as what you and your kind can do.
So, in the off chance, because we have other people who live in this house, right? Besides
In this
us, yeah.
apartment building, yes.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, in the off chance that someone opened up the door and looked
They
at
will
you,
say, "Who let this homeless person in here?"
I see. Okay. Well, I mean, I certainly don't think you should be thrown out on the street. You've been very informative, and
Mind
I'm
you,
willing to help you.
these apartments. I mean, I could certainly sleep in someone's closet up here.
I have no
Again,
room in my closet.
oh, okay, I've just
Sorry,
suggesting that.
I try to be welcoming and things, but
I appreciate that. No.
there are so many good vintage finds here. I'm still working through
I'm a
that.
goblin. I understand hoarding. Yes,
Yes,
I understand
okay.
the penchant. I understand the impulse. It is your raison d'être.
I'll even put jelly on your peanut butter sandwich.
Yes. What kind of jelly?
I have purple and I have red.
Purple, please,
Okay,
because that is most often grape.
if people are going to be wandering into the laundry room and finding him, we should do something. We can't just have homeless people living in our laundry room. Maybe he'll sort of wave his hand. A dog, and he'll turn into like a cocker spaniel, or a child. You're small. He'll wave his hand, and there's like a lollipop holding child. I
Wait,
picked up glamours for my new move.
oh, you're making him look like a lollipop holding child?
Oh.
Or you're creating one?
Oh,
And
I think
That-
if they
making him
opened the
he
look
door
go- he
and
goes-
found
he
the
goes-
child, that would be a bigger problem.
he kind of holds his hand in front of his mouth. He goes, "Oh, your glamour is very strong, sir. Oh, wow, that's nauseating."
Thank you. Oh,
Oh,
that's
could you take
all
that
right.
off? I don't.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Fine. Goblins don't throw up.
Oh,
Oh, thank God.
So you
Just-
just
No,
feel
they do-
nauseated forever?
Oh no, we feel nauseated and then we throw up. But we expectorating is waste.
Oh.
oh.
Um,
Okay. Maybe
Like
and
we're
I'll
like
pull the glamour
gulls.
back.
Gulls do that, don't they?
Maybe a hat then.
A
I
hat
think
seems.
I think if the closet seems amenable for right now, maybe we could look for something a bit more permanent that has less traffic. I mean, again, it's a door that's unlikely to be opened, but far more likely than somewhere that isn't getting all of the residents in the room.
Look, as I said to you when you rescued me, I'm at your disposal, and whatever you wish to do, I will abide by your decisions.
I think we all want to help you, right? I look around, kind of giving
That does
nods.
seem to be the majority vote.
So good. We'll find something comfortable for you to sleep on, and we'll see about if the closet looks good to you. And we'll see what we can do.
That seems reasonable. I apologize that at this point I have no currency to pay you with. You could sell that enormous ball and chain. Perhaps that could go for a pretty penny.
To who?
Someone who
don't-
needs to change someone.
Yes.
I mean, it's a magical ball and chain. I bet at the Goblin Market it would go for something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, though they might go, "Hey, this looks familiar." So I'd be
Well,
real
if you were
careful about that.
But you were secretly chained up. It would
Yes, but
just
they
be
wouldn't
that
know
we
that it's a
know
goblin.
where it came from.
Hey, this looks like the manacle for a goblin prisoner you're selling us. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Clearly, you would want it back, right? um, I understand.
For the moment, I'm just going to sit over here at this little, we would call this a breakfast nook, is what you would call this, or did you just call this like a half table with a chair by it?
I like breakfast nook. It was just my everything table.
Okay, well, I'm going to sit at this breakfast nook and eat this sandwich here,
Okay.
and let you all finish up what you're doing, and I'm going to make myself. Did you want to go with the dog or the child is fine. I can work with the child. Maybe just a very short man, Mr. Suit.
I mean, do you feel comfortable as a dog? No, no, a child is fine.
All right.
I think people are going to be more concerned about a child found living in a closet than a homeless man.
Would they?
Well, yeah, they'll
Yes.
just say,
Yes, they
Mr.
would.
Homeless Man, you probably shouldn't live here. If they find a child, they're going to go, where are your parents, child? Let's call the police.
I'll just tell them Mr. Suit is my father.
And
Perfect.
there it becomes the complication.
That'll work.
No.
Do
Nope. Mm-mm.
you see maybe where I'm coming from, Sue?
I was
I think
just
the dog would
thinking
be
that
better.
children were much less than,
I mean,
yeah.
I think the dog would be great. People would then go, oh, look, we got a laundry dog. And they would leave out food and water there, and they'd be all happy.
From personal experience, no, they chase you out.
That's
Oh,
There's
Well,
always
but
one of
if you're
those.
small
I
or
wouldn't.
cute, can you do cute?
Oh, that was inherently cute.
again. I'm going to keep eating this sandwich and let you all figure this out.
Yeah, we have an initial plan. Let's go with that. And there are other things on the table.
Also, we can just rig up the door so he can lock it from the inside.
I mean, technically, I think that what is most immediate on our plate is we're supposed to be solving a murder.
I know. That's why I'm going to go and talk to Commodore Pecky.
Oh,
I was actually hoping that like maybe Aldo could come with me.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Apparently
I
he's
was
very spooky and Spyro doesn't think I should like talk to him alone. But I also Mr. Suit is too polished, and I think Mara that you might be how do you say a little scary
Yeah, I kind of look around like,
because you're so polite and it's just impossible to be as good mannered as you are.
Also, the whole thing with the skin.
yeah, that. I was thinking maybe to go
What? Doesn't
see.
he see your glamour?
I don't know what Commodore Pecky would see, but
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe to go see Wisdom Wales, and soon if you would maybe go with me
Oh, that's a good idea.
because Wisdom likes you. And I think it makes perfect sense that I would go and speak to Wisdom after what happened because I served as a second and a person died.
It would be polite, yes.
Did Wisdom Wales seem surprised when they heard that their foe was dead?
Were y'all not
Murdered?
there? Y'all were there, weren't you?
I know. I'm asking you because you were standing right there.
Yeah. I think they just kind of went, oh, and well, that's fine, and walked away, didn't they? Was that right, Lowell?
That is
They
entirely
were pretty
correct.
casual.
Yes.
Oh, well, no need for me to be here any longer.
But they did come dressed to fight.
They did come as though they were planning to fight, yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, then it looks like we've got two scenes we want to do.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, Aldo, Lily, you will get a call from, get names again here, from Spyro, who will tell you there is a bar slash billiard hall slash arcade, over on the west side that he will meet you at.
All right. Thank you, Spyro.
And it is, a couple of, unless you get Mr. Suit to drive you, it is a couple of, b bus changes.
Oh, he's probably on his way to go see Wisdom, so we could just catch a ride, right? We'll catch the bus back. Don't worry, Mr. Suit.
None of that is how geography works. We are going this way.
Yes.
The buses, though, the buses go that way.
All right.
The sad bleakness in that. All right.
So it is that kind of like early afternoon on a Tuesday, where it is very much just a handful of barflies, and the sounds of smash TV machines, and other, like maybe the vibration from a badly tuned skee ball thing, and a bar. And this place smells like every cigarette in New Orleans was stamped out in it at one point. It just reeks of it. And you will see there are a few booths come in. Bartender looks at you. You walk on, come like it's early enough in the day that you're like, oh, they just don't sweep up at all. As you crunch across the floor on peanut shells and popcorn and broken glass. Uh, and you will see a guy, when I have a picture of him in the thing, there on row 116. He is well built. His eyes are oddly golden, even in this sort of mortal form that he has. They look a little not real. And he is sitting there nursing a Coors.
Okay. And I do think that when I see him, I turn to the bartender and said, "Can we get 2 more of those?" She'll point towards the booth with Commodore Becky. Thank you.
There's the service is them popping the caps and putting them on the bar for you.
Awesome. She doesn't take any problem or have any problem with that. She picks one up and hands it to Aldo and goes over to the booth and just, "Excuse me, are you Commodore Becky?"
I think you know that I'm Commodore Becky.
No, it's just say.
Sit down, Suit. Who's that?
This is Aldo.
Hello, Aldo.
Hello. Hi. She's the one with the questions.
Okay. Yeah. And she,
So, what questions do you have, little Scion of Sons?
and she sort of says, "I wondered, I know that you went to visit the goblins yesterday. You went to speak to the was it Denbacher that was killed?
Denbacher, yes.
Yeah, Denbacher.
Denbacher boots.
She goes, there was a lot of disarray in his office. We wondered when you were there, and he was still alive, I assume.
I was by there early in the day, and he was still alive when I last saw him.
Excellent.
But you do know he's dead, right?
I have heard that. I got word from Den Bacher Tipper.
Will you be working with Den Bacher Tipper then now?
It depends. It seems like he will be the person that'll come up when all the sides get arranged. He was the market warden. He's the one who could most easily step into Boots's boots.
I had the impression that he was quickly making those moves.
Would not surprise me. He's a piece of shit.
Does he inherit everything Boots had going on?
Inherit makes it sound like a family business. This is a maneuvering. There are several people. And it's not just the Denbachers, it's the Thames Bitters and the Hogarths. The Denbachers are the family with the greatest pull there, but there are others, and there are other people with alternate pushes, plots, plans, and things that they do. The Thames Bitter, they might have been the next ones, most obviously, but they had a setback recently.
What happened?
So there are places here in the real world that are sinks, hold historical locations, and places of history and significance, but local history and significance happens when hoarders get into place and weird things happen around. Becomes a swell, a wet place. When we can find them, it's like when the goblins can find them, it's like a boil from the undertow, or maybe a prettier analogy is, imagine it's a spring, water pushing up out from the undertow out into the real world, soaking things up. These are rare places, rich, beautiful places. Like when you put something in the undertow to marinate for a long time, you got to choose the right place with the right currents, the right things for them to change. And there are some people that know how to do that, how to find those things. There are some changelings, some taken, I know, that can reach in and find those things, and they're lucky fishers. But for the goblins and for most, you have to bake those things themselves. But that takes finding the right things, getting the right soothsayers, getting the right visionaries. It's not cheap. The Thames Bitters had an investment going, and somebody found it and ripped them off. Messed with their stuff there, disturbed the, well, let's just say goblin feng shui and leave it at that.
Sort of concept in this conversation that I'm going to have to find a place for in my mind closets. Okay. Goblin Feng Shui. Got it. So,
But anyway, that
so
put them
someone
on their
took
back
the
foot.
things?
And of course, once the Dembachers heard that Temspitters were discommoded, they started calling in coin, started calling in lots. So this certainly the death of Boots works to their advantage and delays those things, but there's still things mucking around.
So they maybe had a reason.
Lots of goblins and others have a reason.
But when you went to see him that day, what seemed to be his concerns? Was he worried about anything or maneuvering around anything at that moment?
Nope. Says no concerns, nothing. Not at all. No worries. I just stopped by for a friendly chat.
Okay. So now I feel very much like that wasn't in fact the case, that things went that one. I feel that way. And she says, is there she sort of stops and goes, well, then I may hope that you make a good profit by that knowledge.
Is that what you wanted to know?
Just wanted to know what the state of things was.
Why the fuck do you care?
And she goes, because an agreement was made. I am following through.
I heard word that Den Tipper hired you.
Um, did Dem Tipper hire us, Lowell?
He's the one who asked you to.
And she sort of said, this is who I agreed to do the thing for? I made the agreement.
You make a promise, you make a contract.
Said that I would.
It's different from a promise or a contract. If you can back out of it, it would be in your interest to let this case go.
Why?
I don't need to go into things. I'm just telling you, trying to provide you with some enlightened self-interest.
You see, you seem to have a lot of that. I respect that. I myself am still learning.
You're smart enough to bring a bodyguard with you. That's good.
Aldo's a good friend. It's always good to have friends.
No, it isn't. You can see yourselves out. Any moves you want to do? Let me just ask that. If there's anything
Yeah, that's, I think, and I do need to look. I apologize. So,
I've been like just sitting there watching him and trying to look just intimidating enough. Um,
yeah.
the whole time, mostly silently. So, but I haven't like I've also been watching him.
Yeah.
So I would like to
Roll study.
make study roll. Yes.
Okay. What do you want to roll that with?
Uh I think since I'm sitting there trying to look intimidating power, which I have 0 in. And that's a 6.
That is a 6. Do you want to spend a bond?
Um, sure. Yeah, I will
Okay.
spend a bond.
So you will get to ask your special question from your move, uh, and a question here from study. What do you want to start with?
Uh, let's go with the question from study. Which look at these. His, warning. What does he think is the bigger danger, the goblins or something else?
Something else.
Okay. Uh, and what is his greatest sorrow?
He is fairly certain in his mind that Hemingway knew or was involved in or was responsible or was tied up with him getting taken that second time. That's what he believes. And it's not anger, it is sorrow. That is pain for him. His anger is elsewhere. Does that seem fair?
Yes, absolutely.
Lily Smythe Suit.
My name is recall when I reach into someone's memories about a particular moment, roll. And I think I am rolling with sorrow too. I think that's
Okay.
going around the table for me. And so that's a 1 that I'm. Oh, where are you? Rolling page. Why do I always lose this thing? I think because it opens up the other thing. I apologize. Okay. So I'm gonna roll again. So that's a 9.
Okay. So you have 2.
2.
And I assume that the particular moment is his meeting with Boots.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you'll see him in there with Boots. They are talking, going back and forth. The voices get raised a few times there.
Let's see here. So I can ask a study question. Is there a set of study
Nope.
questions?
Those are flexible.
It's just any question?
Yeah. You can choose the same thing twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who is it or what is it that interrupts the conversation?
I think it's pretty much that suddenly Boots rises up from the dream bullet shot into his head, and crashes to the floor, and you'll see a oh fuck look on his face, in the mirror, because you can see him because you're kind of seeing through his
Mhm.
memory and his eyes, and you see him grab a package that he had been bringing to Boots, and he exits stage left
Okay.
when he looks over and sees Boots is pretty clearly dead.
And it's a dream bullet? And
Yeah, he
it's
didn't see it. He just could tell
he
that something had happened.
something had happened, right? But essentially with the dream bullet when it's coming in is that I want to say that essentially what I do though is I catch something about the trail of the bullet. I don't see the bullet, I see a trail. What does that trail, what does it look like that gives me a hint to who might have pulled the trigger?
I think, and essentially imagine that in your memory, you're kind of following it back out.
Mhm.
I think you'll follow it back out and it does kind of like vanish kind of in the daylight, but you will see. I mean, I guess I remember this is a crappy dead mall a part of town, and I think you will see across the way is a graveyard. Sound fair?
I guess. Is if it's significant, it's not occurring to sharing, but I'll figure it out. I don't know. It's good. All right.
I'm gonna say that he will move you all along.
All right.
Mr. Suit, Marrow, arrive on campus.
Well, before we go, I want to ask one thing first.
Sure.
I did a favor uh for wisdom.
Yeah,
I got a string for that, right?
I believe so.
I should get a string for that. Okay.
Yes. The basic moves is you've done them a solid. You offered to do it and you did it.
And I did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and as we're driving, I'm going to look at Sue um I I, I know that you aren't real fond of driving us around all the time, but I do have a treat. Um, and I will direct you to head towards the Dixie Car Wash. Um, and I have a coupon for a free car wash.
Oh, to have someone wash the car?
Yeah, it's I don't you put your car on a thing and it goes through and it's like a whole experience and I'll pull out a cassette tape to put into the cassette player. Um and it begins playing, going to the car washing. Um and I'm going to have a memory of my dad used to take us to the car and he always would put this tape in to play car washing as we go through. And kind of sitting there with Suit in this brings back that memory in its way. Suit is a little bit of a paternal figure too, Marrow, in a lot of ways. Not a good parent, but still a parent to parental figure.
Nice.
And I'm going to uh take a bond with Suit. I
That sounds
should
good.
clear a thing, but I'm going to take a bond. Um, there, and I'm going to say, as we're coming out, the truth is, wisdom. I'm pretty sure doesn't really like me, but maybe you can get them to kind of reveal what's going on. They do like you, and I mean, you're the smoothest talking person I know. That's sort of true, but I am going to use lies
Okay.
for this
All right.
as my setup for us going in. Um, I'm going to go off sorrow because I'm feeling by under suspicion and the fact that wisdom doesn't like me. And enough people have told me I feel like I might have been set up on this if things had gone differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with that.
Okay.
Um, Roland. Woohoo! I got an 11,
Okay. So you've got two hold.
and I'm going to hold those for going into the meeting.
Okay. So the two of you will show up at the library. Wisdom is there. They will greet you. Mr. Suit, Marrow, how did things go after I left?
Excitably?
I hope the goblins weren't pressing you after that. I apologize if they were. I would have thought that everything was all cleared out and taken care of.
Well, they were concerned about the murder, a bit agitated.
Uh-oh.
They didn't suspect me, did they?
They didn't say anything.
Oh, well, good, good.
Was lucky, huh?
I have been around long enough not to believe in luck. I did not look forward to fighting them. How did
Didn't
they die? Did they tell you?
He went and saw. Uh, Dream Bullet.
Oh, oh, good.
Oh,
go
good.
I
good.
mean, that's a terrible way to die, I guess, if it's a dream bullet. Yes.
No, about as bad as a normal bullet, just more whimsical. You have much experience with dream bullets?
Now, I've never even heard of a dream bullet before. You can tell that he's very relieved to hear that that is how he died. But I'm guessing that you two didn't come here for that. Was there something else? I certainly owe you a debt, Marrow.
I hate to be crass, but I would like a little something back. I don't think it would be overly difficult, but would you be so kind as to let everyone know that your good friend Marrow stood by you in that difficult time?
Consider it done. I will. You you were a rock to me in my time of troubles. You offered to help me when I had no one else to turn to. And despite your misgivings, you met repeatedly with the goblins and you tried to broker a peace. And you were there on that day before I even got there.
Well, thank you. I
We'll consider that string spent.
Yes, and I am dropping my suspicions is how I'm using it.
Yeah. I will, I will, I will speak to mirrors, and I have friends in suns, and the word will get around.
Thank you.
Was there something else?
Anything I know you've got a cool move, but I've got things in reserve to fortify you to do things if you want to try and inquire here. But
Uh, sort of loath to push it if you're interested in getting a favor out of this.
well, yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I
He's
mean,
gotten his favor. Essentially, he's gotten the
yeah,
string
I've
and spent it to restore his reputation.
but yeah, if you, I was thinking your follow the threads was where I was thinking, but um, that's up to you entirely.
Mm, yeah, can, I guess.
What would you roll that with?
Hmm. I guess calm. I am trying to keep everything friendly
Sure.
since Marrow's trying to get something out of this.
Can I spend one of my hold to have part of my lie become truth of being the smooth talker to give a +1?
I like that. Yeah, let's do that as a +1 forward. That seems reasonable.
It's a four.
Marrow, you've got one more hold.
I do. Let's
Do you want to mark sinking?
I am marking sinking. Patrick, you have a 10.
Shall I tell you the thing you want to know, Mr. Suit?
Yeah, I'm interested in learning about one confidant and one death they have not revealed to others.
So they are tight with Semolina Pilchard, and they convinced Semolina Pilchard to deliver booster drugs to Boots, which would have significantly debilitated and poisoned him. Not kill him, but heavily weakened him when he thought he was getting the upper hand. And she, uh, Wisdom Wales, was terrified that that is how he died, that Semolina Pilchard had fucked something up and killed him that way.
Mm.
And she is so relieved that it was a dream bullet. Um, uh, uh, and also relieved that maybe now since none of this went through that maybe Pilchard and her are even. Like she's trying to work out how that's all going to play out in terms of bargains and debts right now. Does that seem fair?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time and uh oh, Mr. Suit's gonna have a party.
How are you now?
Are you doing anything for the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm going to the Court of Mirrors party. I'm very excited for it.
We look forward to having you. The court is very excited to be hosting this.
She's part of your court.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing the arrangement on it?
It was going lacking, and the Super Bowl is a very important event. I wanted to make sure that things went as well as they could.
Oh, okay. It's usually Songbird's thing, but I guess.
Well, we're trying something different this year.
Changes in the air, wisdom.
Change. Well, if you need anything else, library research records wise, please do not hesitate to call on me. I hope I will see you again, Morrow.
Of course. It's very nice to see you.
And I think as you go out, you'll see her like, you know, with a good degree of relief there.
That went better than I thought, Mr. Suit.
It went better than she thought, too.
What? She did seem relieved. Do you think she killed him?
No. No, I think she was mostly glad that the poisoning isn't what killed him.
Oh, yeah, in
Wah,
sync
wah,
with me.
wah.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, Lily, uh, in this session, did you express your taken nature, my muted friend?
That's a good question. I think I did make reference to it multiple times. And uh, and I think particularly it was interesting about like, but it wasn't a heavy touch at all.
No, I
So,
think that we touch on it. That's a point.
yeah.
Did you touch on your humanity?
Uh, yeah, I mean, peanut butter and jelly sandwich is about human as you can get, isn't it?
And did you interact with your entanglements or rival?
Oh, Pilchard, no, she's troublemaker. I was kind of hoping something would come up that I could, but no, I did
Got
not.
some ammo now, though.
I do.
So 2 points.
Yeah.
Let's come to Marrow. Did you express your taken nature?
I think so. I've used takeny things, and I think part of my revenant bit is, with that sinking and being willing to give of myself to push my friend.
Yeah. Did you express your humanity?
Yeah. I think there was a kind of the helping of this goblin. I thought that was
Car
sweet.
washing.
Car washing, talking about football, all that sort of thing. Remembering my father.
And did you interact with your entanglements or rival?
Definitely Wisdom Wales, and I was playing at for the party, going, Lily, we need to go to the party. Surely you'll go to this party. I'd sure love to see you at the party. And getting the cold shoulder, which
Yeah.
he's not used to
No.
getting from Lily. So,
Nice.
oh,
She was more concerned about the whole thing with the party than
Three points.
thank you.
Aldo, do you express your taken nature?
Yeah, I think that conversation with Curia was well above Aldo's pay grade.
Right. Did you express your humanity?
Ah, that is a good question. I don't, nothing jumps out at me.
Okay. Did you interact with your entanglements or rival?
No.
Okay. So there's 1 point. Mr. Suit, did you express your taken nature?
Um, yes, I think the developing the glamours and like extending this ability to dress up the world around him.
Oh, yeah. And did you express your humanity?
Yeah, I think the whole like obsessing and needing to be important in this party thing.
Absolutely. Did you interact with your entanglements or rival?
No, I railed against Max, but he wasn't there.
Right.
We do need to have something messy with him in person.
So 2 points. Let's do quick stars and wishes. Uh, let's go backwards. Mr. Suit.
Yeah, it was very nice to get back to this. I I especially love the scene with the goblin. Um, just figuring out what to do in our it's this just gonna become a weird changeling slum house, and there's gonna be magical things all over the place and people coming and going at all times. It's
They're
it's a
very
dangerous,
NIMBY,
dangerous
very
path.
NIMBY.
Yes, incredibly. Um, I love seeing Curia around. I like seeing how Aldo interacts with, people outside of our circle, and Curia's just always a great mixture of like suspicious and very helpful. Um, and wishes. I I want to follow up with Aaron Roke.
Okay.
We have sort of a contact into the Immortals, and we haven't seen much of them, so I'd love to see more of them and him.
All right. And since he's the one who has your card, yeah,
Yep.
that seems reasonable. Aldo.
Uh, stars to everything with Mr. Suit this time. Uh, yeah, I think of I like that Mr. Suit is driven by his humanity, even though he's, in some ways like the most powerful of us. Um but at the same time, yeah, he's got these like petty little I need to be in charge of planning a party because I didn't get invited to with the last party. Like um it's great. I love that weird mix. I guess maybe not most powerful, but the most in control of his power, I think is
Okay.
how I wanted to put that. Because the rest of us have power. We're just kind of random with it. uh and also stars to the little like subtle revelation of, oh, someone's been fucking with this goblin clan. Like, huh, I don't know anything about that. um uh Wishes. Uh there are a lot of different there are so many different paths to take. I like in both just NPC stuff and the how many mysteries are we now involved in? uh so I want to follow up with Songbird Rex at some point, and have probably an extremely embarrassing conversation with her. And uh, also, I, I, at some point, deal with this. I guess, well, I was going to say all of our rivals, but we've already. Wisdom Wales is the only rival who's actually appeared much. Abyssinian Max has appeared, but not in rival, not as
Right.
a rival. So I'd kind of like to see the rivals, or I can select a rival from characters who have appeared.
Okay.
Because I would sort of like to get that, more of the, I guess, rivalries on screen. And I am cool with either way of doing that.
Okay. Absolutely. We'll look at that. Awesome. Marrow.
Um, Huge stars for kind of getting us back in, Lowell, and getting the ball rolling again because it had been a bit of time, and you gave us stuff that made us catch back up, and we kind of got reconnected to what our problems were in a nice way that was very role play. It wasn't like here's this, here's this, here's this. What you gonna do on it? And I thought that was really well handled. Um, Stars for us as a group in how we interact. Um, we have like Suit, who's kind of a stuffy person of his time. We have on the opposite end Lily, who is so exuberant and so optimistic and really kind to an extreme. And then Aldo and I are kind of a place in between because I think Aldo and I are both nice people, but we're also cautious people. We are people of the court of fear. And I think that Ethan and I often bring that in. And so stars to how that goes. I think Suit isn't a, I think Suit's probably a nice guy too, in the fact that we always could convince Suit to do the nice thing. Suit never rebels against the nice thing in the end. Um, so I like the way that our dynamic works because it gives us two poles, it gives us people in the middle, and it does seem like we care about each other and that we are benevolent people. We have a lot of people we meet that are kind of jerks, are really self-serving, and you don't get a feeling that we're actually like bad guys. We're nice people hoping for the best. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep being asked and continue doing pretty unpaid labor to do nice things for people. And I think that's cool. So star to how we put ourselves together. I think that's fun. And I really enjoyed the Delulu and Sue off the bat. That was so fun. I just think that's so cute.
Yeah.
I like that character, how you play her, Lowell, and the way you played to Suit's initial thing where now it feels like she's really trying to get him to to, to approve in some way, which is a fun, kind of power switch out there that's kind of cute and fun.
Yeah, I love
Wishes.
Delulu.
Wishes. I would like to do some concrete work on what this ritual is. It feels in my purview, from my court. Um, Maybe something that Aldo and I can do but to kind of go and whether that's following some research, getting in there and
You
use
have
the
a
power.
very concrete thing. You have a location to go to. You've been given the island. So
Yeah,
there is that out there.
yeah, and so that's a wish. And I'm looking forward to the party for the Super Bowl. I would love to have us discuss what that's going to look like. That's a wish is to see how that plays out.
Okay. Excellent. And Lily.
It was fabulous. Everyone was fabulous. Including you, Lo, you were pretty fabulous. Everyone was right. It was good to get back together. It was good to interact in this strange fits and starts way that we as a group have. Definitely cohesive. And yet also sort of a little whirlpool of chaos at the same time. So I don't know, like chaos with a lid on it, maybe, or some edges around that keep it from lapping over. It's I love that each time we meet a new NPC or return to another one, that I just feel so greedy. Like I want to be there talking to them too, that I want to, be, I want to know them. It's just like they're all fabulous. Even when they're scary, they're fabulous. And it's just been this game felt very much that way. Like when Mr. Suit went to see Delulu, I was excited for it, and it was every bit of the thing that I wanted it to be. Talking to the goblin was a hoot, and Commodore Pecky was scary, and even a few minutes talking to Spyro was very fun, very much in that 1999 kind of feel and way things were, and just I don't know. I like I was loving it for this. And the thing is that all my fellow players are as brilliant. So it's just a joy and a pleasure.
Whenever I
Um,
can reference the obsessiveness of people who played Microsoft Flight Simulator,
yes,
that's a good time.
it is. And that is very much my experience because, of course, I was I worked with a lot of engineers at that time. So what can I say? It was all Doom, I think, or that. So, but yeah, I don't know. Considering how long we hadn't played and we stepped right back in, it just felt like breathing. It was it was easy, it was good. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Wishes?
I do want to go back to the cemetery. I want to figure this out, right? I want to get that set. Wishes, I want to I I do want to go to former tinfoil Venice to see a thing, to get a better handle around what it is that needs to happen. And I do want to talk to Hemingway. I definitely want to talk to Hemingway.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you all so much. I'm going to stop the recording at this point.